Hey, what is going on, guys? I'm Tom, and I'm back with another how-to for bread. And today I wanted to talk a bit about a more commonly used type of bread. And so today we're talking about how to make, the pizza dough. Oh, now pizza actually falls into the category of flatbread. So I'm just gonna give a small bit of detail on how flatbread evolved and then go right into pizza uh, right afterwards. Now, flatbread has kind of been around for about 75,000 years. It originated as a grain cake, which is pretty much just fat and flour mixed together. Pretty much it would be used in like churches and stuff. It isn't exactly that hard to make. Hey, Um, so the actual idea for her bringing it into the combination of flour and water did not continue on until about 6,000 years ago. So, that was actually the original creation of the more modernly known own type of pita or flatbread head. So, Um, this is kind of one of those hoes that's like hard to pinpoint the actual origin. But the first ever actual recorded uh, dough hoe used with a yeast leavening was done in India for naan bread, and that is Naan and naan. It's hard. It's a weird thing to say, but uh, so pretty much pita is, or pita, flatbread, head, matzo. All these are all flatbreads and stuff. Oh, so flatbread is, in short, a type of bread that is used for sandwiches a lot of times. Times you've got some for like wraps that you would use in fajitas, burritos, all that good stuff. Uh, and then you had the Italians who had created had the pizza out of it. Uh, the actual recipe for the pizza was not made until like late 18th century, early 19th century. He he I believe it's century 1900s, but anyway, hey, so it was made in Eastern Italy, pizza, uh, and and the more simple concept of how it was produced was just the flatbread with some sauce and cheese and maybe some meat or something, and put on for a little more hearty of a taste. So, that is pretty much the most basic thing. And now, how pizza came to America and is one of the more common things now is thanks to immigration and stuff. Uh, a fun little oh, deli owner called Lombardi had opened up his own deli. And what he would normally do for his buddies, he's who were construction workers and stuff, he would make pizza for them, so they had something nice to eat. He, and one of his customers at the time was like, "What is that? Hey, can you make me one of them?" And eventually, Lombardi kind of had people, oh, not only his buddies, but his own customers asking for pizza. Eventually, it became a more common thing. for him to make that instead of having his meats and stuff sold. Um, so pretty much, they had made a pizzeria to commemorate this. Yes, in Little Italy, in New York City. This isn't actually where the deli was. It's actually a little more down the street where the actual spot where the deli is. But that restaurant now is deemed a national landmark, and it is actually the first original pizzeria that was made in the U.S. So, with that being said, and how the actual pizza changed up from then is the original pizza had thin slices of mozzarella on it, as of now, where we just coat the entire pizza with it, since the cheese is the most expensive part of the entire thing itself. So, with that being said, I'll just, uh, as always, I'll explain what I did, recipe and all that. So, pretty much the recipe that I'm using is the ingredients are simple. I'll just bread flour, which is your 100%, water, your 68%, yeast 1%, leavening, 10%, salt, 2.4%, oil 5%, leading up to a total dough percentage of 186.4%. And so the he but the actual whole recipe that I did, it was a total amount of 700 grams. So that's going to be 376 grams of bread flour, 250 grams of water, 4 grams of yeast, 38 grams of pre-ferment, and 9 grams of salt, and then 19 grams of oil. Now, the production of this you can do, this recipe, you can do either by hand or you can do it by mixer. Now, I'm just going to go by how you would do it by hand, because the mixer, it's just the same concept, but you're not making a hole in the center. Now, so pretty much, the process in making this is you have your bread flour, and you're going to mix in a fourth of your water. If you're doing this by hand, you're going to make a little which is pretty much just putting a hole in your flour center, and pouring about a fourth of the water in and combining it like that at first. Next, what you're going to do is once it's combined and stuff, make another hole, put the fourth of the water, put another fourth in, so now you've got about half your water inside of it. Hit with your yeast. Again, mix up until it's combined, and then add another fourth with your leavening. So now you've got 3/4 of your water, your yeast, and your leavening inside of it. Mix it together until it's combined, and again. And then finally, you'll add your last amount of water, your salt, and your oil together. Combine it, and this time you're going to mix it till it's smooth. So that's going to be about roughly 4 minutes, give or take. So once this is done, you're going to go immediately into shaping him. So what you're going to do is you're going to take 310 gram hams. Now, the 310 grams should equal out to about 10-inch round pie. So, for that, I put a little extra in just to be safe. Hey, for those of you though that are doing hang this by a mixer, I would recommend and having a bit of flour on standby, just cause when dealing with mixing with your hands and mixing with the mixer, or you tend to put more flour or in if you're doing it by hand as opposed to the other route. How? Because by hand you're gonna assume it's gonna be a little more or soft, like more loose or something like that. So you're going to add more flour in. So anyway, once you have your stuff ready and like all your dough measured out, into balls and stuff, you're gonna let it rest under a damp cloth for about 2 to 3 hours. Whereas I am pretty much at almost my 3 hour mark, so if it is not ready by now, it's something would have obviously been off. But I checked it before; it's all good. It's ready. So, pretty much I'm using this for my dinner. So, that's kind of the reason why I did it at this time. But what you could also do is have it rest overnight in your fridge, and it should be ready by then. And so this is the type of bread that if you want it for like a dinner or something, and I would suggest doing it around like noon for you to get it at least right for then. If you're doing it for like a special lunch or something, I would just recommend doing it the night before or you go to bed, and that should be good. So anyway, hey, now that we're back to it, pretty much your final dough should look something like this when it's done. So it's nice and loose. It's shaken, and pretty much I'm going to show how you shape them now. So just so I can get this guy off. Now to start off, I'm going to dust my bench and my hands with a little bit of flour, because I don't want it sticking into me. So now I'm letting how I'm stretching this is I'm putting on my knuckles and I'm slowly pulling. In the beginning, what I was just doing was allowing gravity to help them out. What I could also do is I could spin the pizza up in the air, but that absolutely does nothing. That is just the same result as me pulling, just with a little more finesse. But since I want to show a little finesse, I'm going to do a little whole detail or fun. I'll not be able to do it with this one, but next one will most likely. Okay. So once he gets stretched out enough, you're gonna put him on a pan or whatever you wanna. I am doing I'm baking stones, just because it's easier for me to use them. So, if you want a thin crust pizza, I suggest getting a rolling pin and rolling it out yourself. But you can do either way. So, I've got one. As I said before, just for a little finesse, I'll show the other way. Yeah. I haven't done this in a while, so may not be a good idea to do the spin. But, you know. Damn thing is sticking on me. Anyway. Once your dough is finally stretched out and everything, and you'll just go on. So, with that, all you just gotta do is put a little bit of sauce on and put a little mozzarella, and you should be fine with it. You could also use this for garlic knots, and you could also use this for calzones. All the differences with the calzone is you fold it over and you add ricotta to it. Other than that, there's really no difference between that and what I'm doing just now. So, with that being said, I'll show what the saucing will look like. You just want enough so it's going to be damp. Grab a little spoon and just slowly work it out. I will probably... Now, how to tell where you should probably stop mixing it, you want about half an inch to a quarter of an inch, and not covered. So that's going to be your crust. So, once I'm finally done, taking longer than I thought. So now that he is done, I will put a little mozzarella on the parts that have the sauce. So now if I was doing a classic, what I would actually do is I would get an actual roll of mozzarella and just put thin slices around. So, pretty much in short, once you're done here, you're just gonna throw him into an oven, and about like a 500-degree oven, and until the sides get brown and the mozzarella is melted. If you want to put additional toppings or anything, go right ahead. I just like my pizza plain. I don't want all that large amount of crud on it. personal opinion. And so, if you happen to like pizza with more or product or anything like that, it's fine, but this is pretty much all you're looking for in the pizza. So, pretty much once I'm done with the other one, and both of them are going in for a short length of time. If I had to say, probably about 10 minutes at most, but it's hard to say for sure, or sometimes the stuff is finicky or stuff. So anyway, that's pretty much it. Like, comment, subscribe below. And again, if one of my videos gets over 100% or 100 views, I'll do a specialty mixed grain. So, have a good day.